Hello. So today, the 15th, uh, yesterday, I should start with yesterday. Really been feeling energies from a friend, from the Channeling Eric family. And I've been reaching out to her, to connect with her and just catch up and see how she's been. And been a few months since we touched base, and out of nowhere, she sends me a message asking if I had time to chat. Um, it was yesterday, so it was the day that I go into town and run my errands and whatnot. So I shot her my phone number and asked her to just give me a call. That way we could talk when I get into town on cell phone. And that's when she shared with me, well, she had shared with me previously that her mom's health had been declining. And when she called yesterday, she had called to share with me that her mom had been living with her, and then health started to take a decline, go downwards, and ended up having to put her mother. Her mother ended up in the hospital on a breathing machine. But the family didn't know that the mom, that wasn't what she really was desiring in her experience. Um, so our friend from the Channeling Eric family that got a hold of me, um, she very grounded, very collected, and very strong in the whole experience. Where she was expressing to me that her siblings were somewhat chaotic and just not, their grieving process was a little different. And so the mother eventually was taken off the breathing machine. And hey, Joe. And the mother, after being taken off the breathing machine, they thought that she'd eventually just transition. Well, the mother kept on breathing. However, when they did the brain scans and whatnot, there wasn't much. There was just the brain activity to support organ function, basic body function. So we were talking, and as we were talking, I just could feel energies, and I could feel just the mother's energies, as if they were ready to transition, as if they had been in that state, and in that state they were healing timelines. They were working on their ability to connect with my friend more in spirit and developing that connection a little more strongly while she was still physically had a body here, vessel, but starting just to develop that connection. So as we're talking, I just start feeling the energies, and um, like when I was sharing with her that it felt like it was her siblings that were creating attachments to the mother, and it was the siblings' attachments that were keeping the mother um, tethered to the vessel in the hospital. Now, a few months ago, a friend of mine from Channeling Eric, she was sharing with me that she had like multiple heart attacks, multiple near-death experiences, and that continues to come back. And her desire was to transition, and it led to this meditation that like the idea popped into my head. So um, we called in Archangel Michael, called in Archangel Raphael, and in the moment I couldn't remember um, the angel of death's name, and and I couldn't recall if it was Azrael or Azazel. Um, I guess the name really doesn't matter so much as the intention and the energy that we were looking to call in and co-create with. And so first it was Archangel Raphael that came in and created a healing space for us all, the siblings, my friend, the mother, myself, and began just doing some healing. And from the healing led to clearly seeing the different cords of attachments that were being created by the siblings. So I had recently come into I've always known about using Archangel and his flaming blue diamond sword to, help dissolve and cut attachments. However, that can be kind of abrupt and can lead to some perceiving as, being somewhat of a painful type experience. So I had come across some videos about the Tibetan rainbow body, and they mention about cutting the cords like lovingly and with compassion and gently. So that's what we asked, was to be able to, as our Archangel Michael self, to go in and lovingly and compassionately begin to dissolve and cut these ties that the siblings were creating, anchoring her to the body still. And in that moment, like, what came into my mind's eye was like a being with tons of eyes, just tons and tons of eyes. But not all, there are some eyes that were open, and then there are eyes that were closing. But then when an eye would close, another one would open. And right when we called in, like after we created the healing space and we began dissolving the cords, and it felt like all the cords were cut from the siblings. There was the main silver cord that's, attaches to the astral body. So when we astral project or out of body experience, we have the silver, cord line. Well, that last line is the one that I was perceiving. So that's when called in the angel of death, the Azazel, Azrael, together, all of us, the mother, the friend, and myself, and we all together dissolved that final cord, that silver cord. And when that occurred, the energy of my friend's mother began to come through, and then I began channeling to my friend. It was a very intense, very, very emotionally charged experience. And as this was occurring, my friend on the other line of the phone, it started ringing, and it was her siblings from the hospital. So I hung up. So she said, we said our goodbyes and our blessings, and then we hung up. And as I'm walking, and this was all just going on, like, I was just sitting outside at a picnic table next to the Target, the Target store, and that led to another really neat experience. As I was reflecting on that a little bit, there was a young man sitting there, and we began talking, and he shared with me just some things that he was experiencing, ideas of schizophrenia and whatnot, and just had this idea of people labeling him as disabled. And I just looked at him and I'm just, I don't perceive you as disabled. I perceive you as fully abled, and I perceive you as just being close to spirit. And I asked him, what are your feelings about aliens and extra dimensions? He was like, oh, yes, I believe in aliens. and I believe in, you know, dimensions and energies. And that's when I began to share ideas with him about, you know, well, most likely you're just feeling your multidimensional aspects that are reaching out to you in certain ways and whatnot. And we're just having our talk, and it was a really neat experience with him too. And as I'm walking away from that, I'm reflecting back on my friend and my phone call, and I could just feel her mother's spirit, and I'm like, just like, wow, what did I just do? What you know, like what I just do? We just like cut this person's silver cord, you know, like this, like. But the thing was, is like what it's what the mother wanted. The mother didn't want to stay attached. The mother had signed a DNR, but no one knew about it, or no one remembered it. So when the mother had went to the hospital and was put on the respirator, that wasn't really supposed to happen, you know, at least to the mother's wishes. So then I started feeling like, okay, all right, be comfortable with it. You know, don't resist the idea, don't resist the experience. Just welcome it. Especially because my friend on the phone, she was just, you know, she could just feel herself like her mom was just ready, and she was ready, and just it was the brothers and sisters that weren't. And my friend, she's a little older than me, but then she has a brother, and the brother is 9. Um, and the little brother and her are handling it like champs, where the rest of the siblings are just really all over emotionally. You know, the other two are very grounded. So I'm just outside earlier, and I'm doing my yard work and whatnot, and I'm thinking about just some things that I heard on a recent channeling from an Archangel Michael channeling, and that with this recent Wave X gamma, or pardon, with this recent gamma ray release from the sun for the second wave coming through of energy, um, that more of our loved ones would be transitioning due to the just the raising of vibrational frequency, and people's um, just complete unwillingness and avoidance of getting in touch with one's core, and so as to begin dissolving those deep-seated roots of one's unhappiness and choice to perceive experiences as painful and learning, rather than as being opportunities, and expressing one's love and doing one's best to, you know, take the higher road, the road of love and compassion, acceptance, understanding, gratitude, appreciation. So saw on the Facebook this morning that within the Channeling Eric family, one of our members took their own life, and another one of our Channeling Eric member family, her best friend, had said in the post, had took their life last night too. So it's just as I was reflecting on just, you know, these 3 recently transitioned loved ones, began feeling a lot of energies. And then I happened to have my phone on me, so I just grabbed my phone and I sent my friend a text and just like, hey, like, I send you my love and my blessings. And it was just mainly because I wanted to see how everything was after that phone call, because in my heart, I felt like I knew what happened. And that's when she sent me a text, and she said, you know, thank you very much. You helped a lot. So I called, and when I called her, that's when she shared with me that, like, when we got off the phone, her family told her to come to the hospital. She got to the hospital, and her mom had passed away. um,
I have a question.
yeah.
Is this real? Are you actually alive right now?
And that's who
Yeah,
knows, man. Like it, it's definitely a trip. It's definitely interesting. I've actually been thinking about that myself lately. Like, you know, um, it's really interesting. I just really yeah, I'm just sharing this more just because it's just like wowing me, you know.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely a trip. Um, and then to like kind of top that off, like last night when I laid down to go to sleep, put on the headphones, put on binaural beat, um, and for out of body experience and or astral projection, and I have a bloodstone crystal skull that I laid down on, so my body has like it helps press against like pressure points in my back that helps like relax me more, and then I use it as something to intention like to save energies to and or my memories from the experience. And I have this little uh, destiny stone or crystal,
Nice.
and I put that on my third eye, and I have a terminalated quartz piece, and I was holding that in my right hand on my heart as I was laying down. And then I wake up to go use the restroom like at like 5:30, and I'm looking. I found my bloodstone. I'm laying on it. I find the Destiny one on the floor, and I start looking for terminated quartz. Can't find it, and then I feel it, and I felt like it was in my pocket. So I'm just like, oh, I'll just I had to use the restroom. So I'm like, I got my hands busy. So when I get done using the restroom, I come sit down to grab the quartz out of my pocket, but it's not in the pocket. See the seam? Like it's right here.
Oh,
And the thing is I searched all in here, all in there, in the pocket, and there's no hole.
yeah.
Like there's no way, like it's there's not like any way that it's all sealed up from here to here, and there's no hole in it.
Jeez.
And yeah, so the crystal somehow dematerialized and is in between. Here, listen. See that?
Yeah.
That's the crystal in there. The only way I can get this thing out is if I cut it out.
Jesus, dude. That's that's something else. Interesting.
Really interesting 24 hours, I guess. 24-hour period. Really intense.
You you remember me from messaging you on Facebook sometimes?
Of course, man. Yeah. We were
Yeah.
just the other day. How you doing, Raven? How you doing today? Both of you.
Pretty good. Relaxing on my day off.
Oh, nice, nice. I just New Carolina, yeah, I just got done just doing like my yard work outside, playing with my plants, doing some transplanting, doing some watering, saying what's up. Um, yeah, I gave some of my plants. I got some Ormus, and I've been taking Ormus myself lately for like the last month, a little over a month, and I've been feeling just amazing, different amazing like stuff with it. I just noticed like my abilities have all just naturally gotten have gotten more effortlessly like have effortlessly grown. And notice my auric field feels more stable, and I'm able to keep it stable with more intention and just simple like stretching, breathing exercises. I noticed that with my diet, my food intake, it's been pretty effortless and shifting into just like mainly all I eat now is like berry smoothies and salad. Um, the next thing I'm working on is finding a different type of milk. I like yogurt and yogurt's alright with me, but I noticed that drinking milk um, has been like messing with my third chakra a little bit. Been adding more water where I charge it with my crystals again, put it in the middle of a crystal grid. Um, Saging more, just getting back into just a lot of more of my spiritual exercises, if you will. I was real lazy about them for a while, but as I was experiencing living on the island, having a lot of fun, um, experiencing uh, different things, that
Nice.
showed me that this is more of what I really want to do, what I'm doing here, doing the plants and just connecting with more of our soul family as more people just get drawn to the groups and start sharing more experiences. Just even if it's only like a few minute like channel type video, just start doing more stuff, getting more things out there. Um, so I'd just be outside walking or doing yard work, and I'd just notice myself just getting tons of downloads and ideas and informations. And there'll be a lot of times where I'll notice like I'll get like pictures of like people's like avatars from their like Facebook or their Google, and that's like spirit like, hey, check in with this person or this or that. Um, but how are y'all doing? Have you guys had any neat recent experiences lately, or noticed any shifts? And
Uh, um, recently I've been uh feeling like I think you said downloads like in my third eye right here. I've
hmm
been feeling like pressure, sometimes like tingly. I take uh I take these herbs called holy basil and passion flower. I've been
hmm
taking it for a while. Every time I take it, it like there's like a pressure, and I just feel like relaxed. Um, I mean I don't know, man. That's pretty much it. It's just I've been kind of going through that. So um, yeah, probably just downloads then, huh?
it, yes, they're downloads. Yet there are also upgrades with
They're
the
also what?
there are also upgrades,
Oh, okay.
activations, sound and light activations to work on expanding the visual acuity of your third eye. Simply holding your supplements in your hands before taking, blessing them with your intention to assist with a more subtle integration of these downloads, of these activations, of these upgrades. As well as allowing these to be received through the heart, the crystalline heart. Allowing your higher heart mind to begin developing its voice, where you will heal, where you will feel what you hear. You will hear what you feel. Allow the light that guides you, your solar plexus, to shine in an ascending, spiraling fashion, focused like a laser up through your heart, stimulating and inspiring, and then sharing these energies up to the throat chakra, which then begins building that which you perceive in your own mind eye to those you intend to share these with. Your unique love, light, compassion, and creative abilities are vital and essential to be expressed within your experience so as to create a more clear path within, channel within yourself as you journey along your own spiritual path. The one present earlier, Raven Cruz.
Oh.
There is a male presence that stands to your right with hand held out, extending an invitation and offer as a spirit guide.
So, so are you trying to say that I'm earning or getting the offer of a new spirit guide?
Yes,
Do you think I can get a name?
we have actually been asking for a name. Mm, the vibration that comes through is Mahatma.
Mahatma?
When you hear this name and you feel the name resonate through your heart and your solar plexus chakra, what feelings do you feel?
When I say Mahatma, it sorta like just smooths with me. It's not something it's foreign. It just seems very smooth, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, this is simply confirmation and validation of what we are experiencing. We feel no resistance, which to our perception would support the idea that this guide resonates with you. Connections as a student of the Mahatma, a shall we say different vibrational aspect of yourself studied with the Mahatma within the now moments which they were incarnate. It is this from these now moments, which may also be perceived in a linear idea as a past life. Udiri indihini na naundian. Urihi niri hai no. Ringi ahaishi ni ida ha andogo a ira hango aha. We use these vibrations to neutralize the energies of fear, guilt, and shame, which have been held within the lower chakras, the first, the second, and the third. Suggestion of drinking more water, incorporating more red colored fruits, vegetables, as well as orange and yellow. Ingesting these colored fruits and vegetables early when one awakes from the resting period incorporating a pinch of sodium bicarbonate baking soda into one's water, tea, and or coffee, if coffee is still being partaken, so as to bring the body more into an alkaline balance. Invoking the energies of the highest vibrational beings that you feel the strongest connections with before ingesting water, before ingesting food. Begin with the verbal and or inner blessings, as well as the projecting of the energy to what is to be incorporated into oneself. The more one is able to also perceive what is going in oneself as their self in its highest vibrational aspect, more of the beneficial healing aspects of these delicacies, the more these will become delicacies. Is there anyone present that would wish to ask questions?
Um,
Uh, yeah. Do you know, by any chance, you know what's like around me spiritually, like angels or something?
There is a guardian angel that is enveloping your heart in this moment. Before you ask, the vessel picked up on your question. Lola, Nola, Ola Nana. Feminine, familiar energy of a aunt and or grandmother archetype. Expand your vision through expansion of your heart, placing your eyes within your heart so as to perceive all as its divine truth at its core, unconditional love of Source. If it's a human that is of a low vibration, do one's best to perceive these beings as their inner child, for it is more difficult for most human beings to project low vibrational expressions and or actions to a baby and or child. If one is unable to do this as himself, then allowing oneself to imagine a being that would be able to do this. And we ask this being to share the blessings of compassion, acceptance, understanding, gratitude, and appreciation, while you as a vessel does what is necessary to become neutral and grounded so as to not charge the experience as good and or bad, so as to be able to stay aligned with the idea that all nows, all experiences are truly blessings and opportunities from which to express our cosmic Christed nature, to be uplifting and enlightening with all of our abilities and capabilities of unconditional love, to be able to forgive, even if it's simply by imagining that they are saying loving, kind, compassionate things, even in the midst of a stream of fuck yous and your pieces of shits. It is up to us to see the heart and what the heart's yearning to say and scream which is I am expressing myself in this fashion, for I have no other ability to show compassionate love. So it is an opportunity for us to act as a mirror of their and our heart's truest desires and preferred alignments. There is core love. It is said the Anunnaki created the Adamu, the human, to mine gold from Gaia. However, this idea is also a metaphor. The human vessel mines gold through one's inner transmutation of lower vibrational, dense ideas and energies. It is taking the coal, the carbon that is at the core and the void has been compressed. It is for us to crystallize through compression, through heat, compassion, and love. Which we then are able to create and transmute these carbon and coal elements within our core to their diamond, platinum, gold, crystalline nature. Becoming the full manifestation embodiment of our higher source self. No longer holographic beings, beings of crystalline light that are of a quantum, biological, organic consciousness, divine in nature. Are there any other inquiries before we disconnect?
Could you ask any of my guides on how to tune in more to their energy?
Trust the love that they have in you. Believe in the love that you truly have for them. These guides are not separate and or higher than you. an idea of gazing into a mirror. And as you gaze into the mirror, begin to imagine and speak the name of a being that you wish to provide guidance, assistance, love, light, compassion, and or any other solutions and or beneficial answers and ideas. As you speak the name, allow yourself to breathe in the vibrations that are created in the space around you. First, allow yourself to naturally and effortlessly fix your gaze to your eyes. Until you begin seeing a shift within your own being. Speak the answer questions from your heart, question answers from your heart, and receive the answer questions, question answers from the reflection of yourself and of your heart. You are able to choose your guides, as are all others. Yes, we have guides that we have ideas of soul contracts and connections with, yes. However, we also have the ability to invoke guides of our own free will and choice. No quick fixes unless one is truly able to surrender completely to trust, faith, belief, and love of oneself and all these aspects of our infinite and eternal self. What's up, y'all?
What up?
What's up, Tyler?
What's up, bro?
Dylan?
Eating some fried rice,
Ooh, some
puckering up my butthole, you know, staying grounded.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's up. Gotta flex that perineum, the Tao of health and sex, man. That's what they say.
Yeah, is it the yoni? They call it the yoni too, or is that the female?
That's the female.
What's the male called?
Lingam.
Lingam. There we go.
The lingam. Oh man.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the lingam is a the grounding mechanism. There's like several energy points. You know, the butt's one of them. For the girl, you know, it's the yoni. It's like the space in between the butt and the vagina is an energy vortex. I mean, I'm just being real here, you know, like, because I've been trying to figure out how to ground, you know, but there's several places where that energy, you know, the bottom of your feet is one place. Good stuff.
Oh my shit.
Oh, you just muted his mic.
I love this type of talk, man. Like it's awesome. It's real though. It's real talk. Like, it's a sex is a tool of ascension, and it's a very efficient tool to be able to transmute lower vibrational energy. So like energies like that are related to fear, shame, and guilt. Fear first chakra, shame second, guilt third. So, and just simply like intentioning, like, hey, you know, to our you know, experienced partner, just, you know, we're going to create a space, and the energy that we share in this co-creation is going to go towards manifesting a Camaro or an experience flying to Hawaii, or, you know.
That's called sex magic, Jason.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
About sex magic.
I'm talking about sex magic, but I'm just giving like something that's going to be exciting, you know, and then that'll lead them to, like, you know, the actual inner path of like self, you know, shit. But you gotta have fun. Like, we gotta have some fun. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
Oh yeah, man.
But yeah, it can also be intention to assist with actually like getting through fear, shame, and guilt. You know, especially if you have someone that's more open and grounded and isn't going to be like, let's say with like, you know, a guy not being able to perform fully, or let's say a chick's maybe a little dry. You know, like there's like, when people are able to like talk in a more neutral, grounded fashion, like, hey, what's going on? You could either be like, well, I really wasn't just that excited with this with you, or, you know, or you can be like, I just had this stuff in my mind, and it kind of kept me distracted. So, and sometimes it's more root core shit than that. So, like the four agreements, you know, one of the ones that I like to do my best with is don't take shit personally,
Mhm.
and positive self-talk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. I like that. I'm gonna adopt that. Don't take shit personally.
Hmm.
'Cause you get all kinds of slack from people that are just lower frequency, and it's like, I gotta stop taking that personally. Really.
Helps me out a lot. Helped me out a lot. Just, I can feel myself. Like, I can feel like those projections and how they have those magnetic, like, and I can feel like, but then I can pull myself back, like, oh, I see it, Take
But then the opposite, the balance to that would be, you know, if someone disrespects you, are you just supposed to take that, you know, or do they need a reflection of maybe you getting angry, or let's say me, you know, maybe me getting angry at someone disrespecting me, and then me actually expressing that anger towards them is what they need. So that kind of goes both ways.
Yes, and it's funny you mentioned that, because I had something like that happen like a month and a half ago with my friend Kayla. It just, we were at this camp out, and I could feel, like, I even saw like something was going to go on, but at the end of it, like what stuck in my head was I could hear her say, "Let's hug it out," and I saw us hugging it out, and then things were getting back to an equilibrium. So that like Friday night, things are partying, and I was all messed up, partying, and I went back to lay down in my tent, and as I'm laying there, I could feel my higher self, and I could feel her higher self, like, you know, I saw like a Draco, and that to me was like, oh man, I gotta play a role right now that I really don't want to fucking play. I gotta kind of be a little bit of an asshole, but in the most loving, compassionate way. So it was interesting, and it wasn't that I was an asshole. It was just like, all right, what are things that I know that if I just say it, but not in a like, just a more matter of fact kind of like, hey, this is what's up, this is what's up, and that's what took place. Except her reaction was, and then went to walk away, and I was like, hey, just reached out to like, hey, hold on, you know, we can talk this out, and then that just went to like, whoa. I didn't even I was just reached out for her hand, just like, wait, hold on, and then just like damn near like getting ready to flash on me. But yeah, the next morning, like, woke up, like, she comes over to my tent, she's like, hey, let's hug it out. And I just like right there, I just started laughing. I'm like, oh my god, fucking abilities, man, like they're a trip.
Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
I love it because it makes when shit actually is surprising now. When it doesn't like really, I'm like, whoa, holy shit, that shifted out of nowhere. Free will is funny. But I got a buddy that's gonna be coming here in a minute. I gotta go wash my dirty hippie ass off and go have a barbecue and do some dabs.
Nice.
Dab it.
There you go, man.
Oh, before I go,
Nice balls.
thank you.
You look like
I know one's a little bigger and one's different color, but hey, they get the job done. Calcite, aquamarine.
Hold on, let me check it.
you look like planets.
Actually, my friend, the one I was just talking about, that camping little thing, she got me this for Christmas.
Nice.
And
That's what is that right there? Calcite?
This is calcite, and then this is aquamarine. Aqua, calcite.
Check it out. I got one similar actually. Right there.
Is it?
I think that's it's either selenite or calcite.
Oh, dude, of course. Of
Yeah.
fucking course, bro.
And that's aquamarine.
Yeah.
I bet you there's an aquamarine one around here somewhere.
Dude, my twin flame sent me this for my birthday. Love this thing. This thing's amazing. I love its energy. Thank you guys so
Oh
much.
yeah, I could feel this one actually. I picked it up. I'm like, forget.
And then I'll share this real quick before I go too.
That's nice.
Nice.
The Flower of Life Pyramid.
Oh,
organ.
nice.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah. I sleep with this thing. A lot of times. I'll sleep with it in my hand, on my head, or like on my chest. This thing's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. I love you. My friend's gonna be coming over here in a minute, so told him I'd be ready by the time he gets here.
All right, bro. Keep it
All right.
real.
Will do. I'm gonna be keeping it real, super real.
Keep it super real.
All right, guys. Love you. Have a good day.
You
Much
too.
love.
Or Hawaiian shoots.